This is by far the craziest strategy I have ever used to get people to respond and get booked calls. The first idea I had was doing personalized video outreach by doing an iMessage to them, so sending it directly to their phone and sending them a video that was personalized just to them. So I said, hey, first name, I want to see if I can work with you. I show their LinkedIn profile, I show their website, hey, I'm on your website right now, blah, blah, blah. This is working really well for me. I want to see if I can use it for you, and then just pitch an offer. And I thought that was going to work really well. So one day I just tried to send it out. I sent it out to 30 to 50 people, but I got almost no replies, a few replies, but not very many interested. Now I got this idea from a guy named Ryan Wilkins. I had a call with him a long time ago, and he said that he was doing this for people in the UK. He was sending messages on WhatsApp to fitness trainers in the UK and sending a personalized video to each one of them and saying, hey, I just want to see if I can help you get more personal training clients, and we just do Facebook ads for you. Want to see if you're open to chat. He was doing 50 of those per day and getting like 5 to 6 book calls per day using that strategy. So that was working really well for him. Now, I never really tried that strategy because I just thought it would take a lot of time to do. It takes a lot of efforts, and the result wasn't going to be there. It would be shorter to just send out hundreds of messages and get a few booked calls rather than sending a lot of personalized messages. So I'd rather do that route. But recently I've been just trying to think about what is the absolute highest converting strategy. If it takes a lot of time, I don't care. If it costs a lot of money, I don't care. What is the absolute highest converting strategy ever, right? That is still scalable in a way. And I tried doing direct mail to people. That barely worked at all. I sent out 100 pieces of mail. It cost me a lot of money and a lot of time to do, and it barely worked at all. I've also tried doing personalized email. That can work, and that strategy is actually very effective. But again, what is the absolute best, most highest converting strategy ever? And I've also had a friend of mine recently reached out to me and said that he was trying this strategy using a video, sending it directly to real estate agents, and that was kind of working for him, sending these personalized videos. And so that's why I thought I would test this strategy. But again, I only got like 2 or 3 responses out of like 50 messages I send, nothing really positive. And I was thinking, well, why am I not getting any positive replies from this? Maybe it's just because it's a text from a random number, but I usually do regular cold outreach campaigns and I get like a 15% response rate. So why wouldn't this work, right? Maybe it's just because it's a little too creepy with a video, but also my client, my friend Daniel, was using the strategy and it was working for him. So why is it working for him and not for me? So I asked him, I said, hey, Daniel, I'm actually using the strategy that you're mentioning. I'm just testing it out for something. It's not working for me. What would you do?
If you make the selfie videos, if you want something highest converting, like 100% response rate, print a giant picture of their head, like a 7-foot photo, put it on your wall, and send a selfie video of them and be like, I really want to talk to you. It's my life goal.
I listened to that. I was dying laughing, but I thought to myself, I don't know how to print off a 7-foot version of their profile photo, but I know how to print off their profile photo. So what I did is I went to 30 different people that I knew were going to be qualified or I actually wanted to reach out to. I downloaded their photos of each individual person, their profile photos, and I went to Walmart and I printed them all off. And then on a Saturday morning, I sent them all a video, something like this. Mommy, it has been my lifelong dream to speak with you. I pin this up on my wall. I look at it every single day and I say, one day I'm going to be able to speak with Kwame Durashe. I want to see if maybe I could work with you. I know you do a lot of freelance copywriting and consulting, so I want to see if I could just send some leads your way and to work together with you long term. Let me know and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. So here's the result of that campaign. It took me about 3 hours to send about 28 messages. I could have done this in a shorter amount of time. I was just doing other things while I was just getting a little distracted while I was doing this at the same time. So keep that in mind. So 28 messages sent. I got 6 responses total. Not as much as I hoped, but still pretty decent. 4 booked calls out of that. Very good. And then I got 1 negative response out of that. 1 that was a neutral response. He wanted more information, and I sent him a whole bunch of messages with more information, but he never really responded from there. So all the bookings that I got were actually pretty high quality, and a lot of them did show up, and they were very good calls, and I did close a few of them. And so I sent this on a Saturday morning, like I said. I was getting more replies after 3 p.m., so I think it's better to message later in the day. Maybe it was just because it was Saturday. I don't really know. But this was 3 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Was working better for me. Not as much as I hoped, but, and again, like, imagine getting a photo, a video of you, and the first thing you see is your photo in the video. Would you not respond to that? Wouldn't you at least say, what in the world, this is the most creative thing I've ever seen in my life? Because it is. That's what I would think. But I got a 20% response rate, like 21, 22% response rate, and a 15% booking rate out of this. Now from this, I thought, what if I could scale this strategy? So I thought about hiring some friends to help me with this process. I then found 150 people. I downloaded all their photos and had a friend help me download them and print them off. And then I sorted them by color. Okay, not when I say by color, I don't mean by race. I meant by the color of the background of the photo. Okay, and we sorted them just to make it easier for us to search through the sorted file. And then I just had them start doing outreach. So they did it for a couple days. I realized this was a terrible idea, not because they suck, just but mostly because a lot of times when people are starting out, and this is the biggest problem I see most people have when starting out doing cold outreach or any type of sales, is that they try to sell. That's the problem. You're trying to sell something when you shouldn't be trying to sell. You should try to act like it is just, I'm just a friend of yours. I remember hearing something where I read this book or somewhere that the #1 car salesman in the world, basically the way that he approaches every sale is that as soon as he sees someone walk through the doors, he says, they are going to be my friend. We treat this person as a friend. We're on the same team. I'm not trying to sell you something directly. I want to be on your team, right? So if I come to you and say, would you be interested in this new fancy, crazy, cool thing? You're like, no, please back away, right? Or do you want to buy this thing, right? No, I don't. But if I said, hey, could you help me out with something real quick? I just want to see if maybe we could work together. I don't really know if it'd be something that you'd be interested in, but maybe we could work together long term. And they were using the same script I was using, but the problem is that a lot of times when people have a script, they sound like they're reading from a script. That's the issue, right? So they say, it's been my dream to work with you. I want to see if I can work with you this week. Here's the thing. I have this new crazy system and you're like, okay, that's exactly the opposite of what you want to do. You want to sound like I'm talking to my mom, I'm talking to my sisters, I'm talking to my friends, not like I'm pitching something to somebody, right? And I don't know how I get it and nobody else gets it. I really don't understand. Like if I tell you so many times, just how would you speak to your mother? You're not going to speak to your mother the way you say, would you be interested in this new crazy thing? You're not going to say that. You're going to say, hey mom, I just want to see if there's this new thing that's going on. I want to see if maybe you want to be a part of it. Let me know if you're free to chat, right? That's how you would approach it. I don't understand. Is there something I'm not telling you guys? I try to say, don't speak like a customer service voice. Or, when you're at a table and you're talking to the waiter and you say, can I get the number 5 and with the cheese, whatever. How would you speak to a waiter? Hey, can I work with you? I just want to see if we could. So it's really about tonality, but I don't really know how to portray that to you guys enough to where you guys actually understand. I don't know what I'm saying wrong here, but please speak like you're speaking to a friend, not like you're pitching something to somebody. That's the same with the messages that you're sending, the sales calls that you're doing, everything. But now I have them basically, they're still working with me just for a couple more days just to test things out. And I have them do Facebook messages, but personal voice notes on Facebook. That's what we're testing. We're probably also going to do it on Instagram and a few other things. And we're getting actually good responses. He sent 30 messages. He got 5 positive replies just from sending some voice notes and already got a booked call just from doing some simple voice notes. And so I think on Facebook, you're going to get a lot higher positive replies, or people are more open to a conversation on there. And when it comes to like these type of strategies, like these more weird strategies, they're gonna be more open to a conversation on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, just because they can see your profile photo, they can see that you're a real person and not just some scam that's behind a fake number, right? When you see a text from some random number or an email from some random person that you don't know, you're just assuming that this is a scam, right? That's the first thing you think. But if we see it from a profile that looks legit, that looks like they just have photos of them and their family, like this really just looks like a real person. And if I receive a voice note of someone really just reaching out to me, you can't automate that, or at least it doesn't sound like it's ChatGPT yet, So it's working really good. And for someone that it's like their second day doing cold outreach and they're already getting booked calls just from doing some personalized outreach, what does that say to you, right? If you can start today and just use the scripts that I have plenty of videos on different scripts that you can use, you can imply that and just do some personalized outreach today. You can get booked calls the same exact day just from implementing these strategies. Now, also what I realize is that people, they just don't work as hard as they should, right? The thing is, like, it took them a whole day to send out like 20 messages. I'm like, okay, what? It takes you, let's say it took me 3 hours, right? And this was my first day doing it, doing the videos with the photos and everything. It took me 3 hours, right? Which means I can get 60 done in 6 hours, right? Which is less than a work day. They spent all day just doing 20. So I've heard several times, influencers saying, I get more done in 15 minutes than most people get done in a whole day. And I just always thought that was like kind of just them trying to look cool or say that, oh, I work really hard. I always thought that was just a little unrealistic, but then actually just trying to hire people and see that they actually just spend all day on TikTok. I'm like, dude, why don't you get back to this? Why don't you get back to having to freaking be their babysitter and say, hey, you should do this because I'm paying you to do it? Yeah, you should go do that now. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I feel like maybe I do get 10 times as much done than most people do. If you can't even do 30 messages in one day, that is insane. And you had nothing else to do today. You didn't have an appointment. You didn't have nothing else to do. You had to go eat twice. Anyways, what this makes me realize is that most of the things that I respond to now are all just personalized messages. That's really the only thing I respond to myself, at least. And so if you want to get in front of a high, or like, I guess, more high net worth people, or people that are already busy, like I'm already busy, I get a lot of messages every day. And so if you're trying to reach out to me and trying to get me to respond and it's not personalized, I know it's just a copy and paste message, I'm probably not going to respond. Now, the only time I do respond if it's still a good offer. So the automations still work, but it has to be a good enough offer. If someone reaches out to me and they say, hey Carson, I just made you a thumbnail, I thought it would work really good, I want to see if I can send it to you. If you don't like it, I'll pay you $100. Would you be open to chat? I probably would respond to that, right? So sure, why not? I don't really care about the $100, but if you're that confident in your product, sure, show me the thumbnail. And you don't even have to create the thumbnail. You just say that you created a thumbnail for me, and then if I respond, then you go create the thumbnail, and then you send it to me, right? So I tell everyone now, just the personalized stuff does work. Set up automations first. So set up automated strategies to do SMS and emails and all that stuff. Make sure the script is good. Make sure it's an offer that the audience actually wants. Do the automation. But then also, if you have free time, which I know most of you do, if you're broke, you have free time, trust me. And so if you have free time, then with that free time, you're going to spend that doing the personalized outreach and really optimize your time. It should not take you all day. You should be able to do 200 messages per day. Maybe not 200 personalized messages per day, but you should at least be able to do 60 to 70 personalized messages per day. And if you're doing automations, you should be able to do 1,000 automated messages per day and at least a few dozen personalized messages a day. I could easily set up a campaign right now in 15 minutes to do 1,000 emails and 200 text messages right now in 15 minutes. And then after that, once I'm done there, I can start doing personalized outreach, right? So if it takes me 30 minutes to set up an automation, cool, that's done, that's going. And then also doing personalized, I can get 1,050 messages done, 50 personalized, and 1,000 messages done in one single day and get maybe 20 responses in one day, right? That's how easy it really is. It just takes your time to sit down and actually do it. I've made videos of me doing it. I'm just sitting down here live, just doing back to back to back to back. And I think something that really does help me too is just thinking about, okay, how long does it take me to send a message? And I just go there and I send a message, right? And I say, okay, that took me 3 minutes. So now I need to send a message every 3 to 5 minutes. And so I need to make sure I need to get this many done per hour and this many done with the next 3 hours before lunch, this many done per day. And so you kind of like set goals as to how many I need to get done per hour. When I worked at Apple and Best Buy, every single day, which was weird, we didn't get paid on commission at all of those places, but they give you a sheet every day and they say, hey, here's your sheet, here's how you did yesterday, and here's how you're doing for the rest of the month. And so far in October, we see that you've done this, you only have this many applications, you sold this much worth of product. And they break it down on the per hour scale. They say you're only making $150 per hour or you're selling $150 worth of product per hour. We need you at $244 worth of product being sold per hour, right? And so then I would just think about every single hour, I want to exceed that goal, right? Because I'm always like, try to overachieve. How do I do $300, $400 per hour? And that's what I would try to do. And so I would maybe keep that in mind when you're actually, maybe if I need to make a video on how to freaking manage your time, let me know. I made already 3 videos on that, but if you need another one, for the love of God. Anyways, if you want a system to consistently get 120 sales calls per month, you want me to help you build out the system, you get one-on-one calls with me every single day. I'm trying to test something out where we're doing one-on-one calls. Every person I've done that with so far, they've been able to get clients within the first week. So if you're interested in that, you can book a call with me below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.